Hey everyone, it's Christy here, and I'm here with my completed mini album. This is the Heritage album that I've been working on for the last week or so. I posted a product haul video, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago now, showing what products I'd be using. And then I have 6 process videos showing me completing this album. So this is a Becky Higgins mini album. All the pages are sewn in, so it doesn't really allow a lot of room for expansion, unfortunately. And because of that, my album is a little bit thick. But I know I always display albums like this standing up on like a end table or a coffee table or something, so I'm hoping that that's what will happen with this one as well. So if you haven't been watching any of the videos, this album I created for an anniversary party coming up actually this weekend, so I did finish in time, which is always the goal, right? But the party is celebrating my husband's family, their 50th anniversary in Canada. They came over from Holland in 1967. So they're having a big party this weekend to celebrate. So it's my husband's father and his siblings and his mother. My husband's grandfather is deceased, but everyone else will be there with their children and their grandchildren and some other family friends and things. So it should be quite an event. So there is process videos for all of this, so I'm just going to flip through. After the camera was turned off, I did go back and add some things and make a few little changes, but nothing too significant. I just wanted to kind of go through, as I always do, and see if there's anything left over that I could make use of. So that's what I did there. If you're just watching the share video, that's awesome. That's probably what I would do as well. I've been kind of short on time recently and haven't been watching a ton of YouTube videos, so it's always nice to see just how the album comes together without watching all 6 of the process videos. So if that's you, I totally understand. But I chose to use the Jen Hadfield collection Simple Life. So I used a 6x6 paper pad and about 7 12x12 papers cut down into 4x6 cards and 3x4 cards. And then I had 1 pack of the die cuts, which I believe probably came with about 40, would be my guess. I'm not exactly sure. And then I had also purchased the 6x12 sticker sheet. And that's all I bought to complete this album. There were some other items that I used, I'll just show you as I go, that I already had in my stash. So this twine here, I already had. All the enamel dots, I already had. The shipping tags that you see, I already had. This is the only case that I did some stamping. Yeah. Another huge part of this album, the sequins I already had. Another huge part of this album is the labels. So I just recently learned how to do print and cut on my Silhouette Cameo. And so I pulled the labels from Caitlin Schaefer into the Silhouette software, added my journaling, and then printed them and cut them out. If that's something that you're wanting to learn how to do, I do have 2 kind of tutorials on that also on my channel, so check that out. So that was another huge task. The actual labels themselves don't take a lot of time, but the journaling on them took a long time. Just what happened was my husband's aunt scanned all of these photos. She actually scanned about 1,400 photos from her childhood and from her parents' life. And she gifted the USB or the flash drive to each one of her siblings at Christmas time. And then my another aunt of my husband's went through those photos and picked 150 of them that fell kind of in the time span of when they first came to Canada. So she narrowed it down for me. That wasn't a job I had to do. And then from there, and so when she initially scanned all the photos, she went through and she labeled them all. So the file name was this, right? She had the date on some of them, and she had the names on some of them. So that was really helpful, except for some of these photos. I had to like really double check and just make sure the label matched the photo, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that was a big job too, typing them all up, making sure that they matched the photo, that I had a label for each photo, and then once it was printed, matching the label to the photo. So that was huge. And then and then the actual creating of the album took way longer than I had anticipated as well. Just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I want this to look nice and to be cherished. So it just took a lot longer than I thought it would, as always is the case when doing mini albums like December Daily or things like that. It's a big job. It's a big task. So I thought I would share with you really quickly my killer collection, I guess, like what I have left over. So just 1 second. I'll be right back with that stuff. Alright, so here's what I have left over. As mentioned, I purchased these items from Paper Issues. This is the Jen Hadfield Simple Life collection, and I started by purchasing the paper pad, as I always do when I create a mini album. So I pulled out all the pages from the paper pad, and this is what I have left over. So I didn't really end up using this cut apart sheet at all. I think this would be really good if you were making cards or things, because there's things like thinking of you, congrats, thanks, made with love, thinking of you, all that kind of stuff. So more applicable to card making. I definitely could have made use of these floral pieces or the bike or thing, but I just didn't really need to, I guess. I had lots of other things that I could use. And then I just have this tiny little bit of scraps here. So there is a few 3x4s left, and then lots of these 2x6 strips, which I did end up using quite a few of those as added embellishments, but I might try and use, I do have a 4x6. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm definitely going to use this pile and try and make a Project Life layout, and I might do that now because I just have it all out and wanted to use it up. I also used a couple of 12x12 papers and trimmed those down to be 4x6s as well. And I'm glad I did that. Like, I definitely needed that, especially, and I think the reason I needed those was because some of the photos, especially from the 60s and 70s, were square, and so I printed them as 4x4, and so then I needed paper in behind those, so I'm glad I ended up purchasing those as well. And then they had really nice branding strips. So out of the 7 papers, I ended up using most of the branding strips, and then this is what I have left over. I also purchased, this is all the twine I have left over, so I'm going to throw that in my Project Life layout as well. I purchased the ephemera pack or the die cut pack, and I have quite a few pieces left. It looks like I have more. Let me just go through this. Some of these are from the cut apart, so I'm just kind of sorting them to show you what I have left from the actual die cut pack. So I have about 7 or 8 pieces, I think. Let's see, 1 teapot, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9. I don't know if I counted that out on. But most of these I just couldn't find a place for. So teapot, like maybe in the Project Life layout that I do, I'll grab a coffee or tea or something, and then I'll be able to use those. I love the florals in this collection. Bird's nest, I didn't really know when to use that. Again, this like rooster, I tried to use this, it just didn't work out. Eat, none of the photos that I had them eating, or else I totally would have used that. The cow, I tried to use that one a couple times, it just didn't fit for me. And then I really liked this, Mind Your Own Biscuits and Life Will Be Gravy. I liked it, it's cute, but it just didn't really fit with any of the photos and things. So I'll find some use for that. And then I also got the tiny word stickers, which I didn't use as much as I thought I would. So it comes in 3 colors, an off-white, a black, and wood grain. Didn't really use them, and I think the reason was each sheet is the same, and so I didn't want a lot of repetition with the phrases, and there is some repetition on the sheets themselves. So hello is featured a couple times, remember this is featured, thank you, thanks. You know, there was a lot of repetition on here, and I didn't necessarily want every page to say remember this or, you know, hello, whatever. So I used quite a few. I'd say I'd used like about 20, which is pretty good, but lots of those left over, and these I can throw on anything, right? So that's not too bad. And then I do have some stickers. Again, this rooster, the lemons, yeah, I don't know, the like lemon cake or orange, yeah, lemon cake, the bullhead. There's just some things that I'm just like, I can't put this on there. That's just not me. So, not bad though. Like, look at how many I used. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So yeah, that's that. I'm glad it's done. I'm so glad it's done. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. But I wanted to thank you all so much. So many new viewers or people who haven't commented in the past commented on this series, and it's just amazing to hear from not only those people who comment every time, and you know who you are. I appreciate you doing that, but it was just really nice to see so much enthusiasm for this album, and lots of people commented like, hey, I have photos that are from my childhood or my father's childhood or whatever that I've been meaning to scrap, and you've really inspired me to do something. So that, oh my gosh, like, is so important and valuable to me. Like, I just can't believe it. So thank you for your comments, and thank you for watching. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if you weren't watching. So thank you so much.